So many people were pissed at the fact that this white dude decided to retcon like so many things about Superman in his latest film. I don't care, honestly. I literally couldn't give two shits about it since I believe source material doesn't mean anything when it comes to a good adaptation, but that's just my opinion. So in this film, we had Superman helping jar hand poor people or whatever that was, which is clearly a metaphor for Palestinian people from the attacks of another nation, which have a huge military advantage. Like these people were fighting sticks and stones and they were like bulldozing the entire fucking border with giant tanks, which couldn't be further from the truth. Boravia, yeah, that's it, I forgot the name. Now, Boravia's agenda in this scenario is really bad. They have a close connection with the US government and so on and on. And this handsome fellow, which only lacks a Keffiyeh, comes and saves the day many times. That's just a story. And also, spoiler alert for people who haven't seen this film. I probably should have said that at the beginning of the video. But who cares? It's a cape shit. The story, the structure, it's everything you've seen before. Now, I think what many people missed, and neither probably James Gunn even noticed when he was writing this film, is that it delivers some deeper aspects about immigrant rights and the wave of racism towards these people based on their ethnic or religious beliefs. Like Superman in this film was supposed to be literally an undocumented immigrant. He flew with a giant-ass spacecraft to the Earth with the message of bringing hope and justice for humanity and all sorts of good helping selflessness stuff. What pissed people off was the fact that this guy didn't hear the whole message of his parents, because his ship was damaged when he was crashing on Earth, and the actual message was, "Ooh, Clark, you're the Superman. You should have wives and harem and rule the Earth with an iron fist." So his entire conception of what he was meant to do collapses, and he becomes a little bitch about it. "Ooh, my parents sent me to eat, fuck, and breathe." And his human father, which happens to be a really wise man, turns to him and say, "Clark, you don't need to be evil and shit," and basically says you are what you do. Now listen to this. It might sound crazy, I don't care. This guy came to America from another race or ethnic or whatever with a message, with a religious text, you might say, which he treats it like a holy text. And it turns out to be that this religious sacred text is not all about loving and helping. It actually can be interpreted as a violent command advising its followers, which in this case is Superman, to become a ruthless son of a bitch. And you can't tell me that this trope doesn't deal with the idea that far-right media portrays other religious groups and accusing them to be fundamentalist followers of a certain text. Like, you can pick almost any religious text in real life and interpret it like it's telling you you should be a murderer or a fucked up person. And it doesn't wipe out the fact that many groups deal with fundamentalism in their readings or specific so-called holy text. Many of them are actually nut jobs. I'm not denying that.
Can read mine, no you can read my poker face.
But the political agenda of where you came from, or the group of ethnic or race or religious beliefs which you originated from, doesn't actually define who you are. Just like what his father tells us, it's ultimately your actions that define who you are. Whether the text you believe in or the group of people you came from is actually violent and can be interpreted as a violent agenda, it doesn't mean shit until you don't comply by them. And this is what happens exactly. Superman in this film accepts his origin, that he misunderstood the fundamental message of his parents, but that doesn't mean it defines his whole character. He can be Superman, the son of Krypton or whatever it came from, and still be a good person, because ultimately that's what matters. You can't handpick certain messages from an ideology or a religion and interpret it based on that and say, since the beliefs are outdated and violent, so its followers must be inherently violent people. And in the case of US culture, that's kind of like what far-right media portrays of Muslim group, for instance, and treat them like shit because they believe in a different book, which may or may not have some fucked up parts. That's a fundamentalist reading of a text, and it doesn't care for human consciousness, because ultimately, even if people are told to do messed up things, they can choose not to. Not all of them are, have a violent interpretation. So yeah, I think this retcon is actually a perfect metaphor. I don't think this trope was intentional, since James Gunn is too much of a pussy to openly talk about the political aspects of this movie. He even said that the movie isn't about Israel-Palestine conflict because he had finished the script before the latest war broke out between the two. Like, yeah, you finished the script before 1967 or 1948. Yeah, sure. Anyway, I'm just rambling and talking at this point. I should shut the fuck up. It's a nice film, honestly. I didn't want to talk about the political aspect, which Superman is fighting a tyrannical regime in this film, since probably people have covered that real good. But it's a fun film. It has some good CGI and fighting choreography and some fun little twists to it. You should give it a try. Okay, that was today's video. Please don't let me know what you think about it. Just move on to your mindless scrolling on social media. I couldn't care less, honestly.
I'll show him how, show him how that